So it has been a day. I have been doing some pretty good running. So one of the other places I stopped was, by coincidence, I got some Bath & Body Works coupons yesterday in the mail. And today I realized this is all I have left in my hand soap at the kitchen sink. I added a little bit of water to it. I'm like, I looked down my cupboard and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I always have stocked up hand soaps. I didn't. So I stopped at Bath & Body and used coupons. So I had two coupons. One was for 20% off the whole order, and the other one was a free full-size body care item. So the full-size body care item that I got was a new scent that I tested in the store. I got the lotion. This is the Sun-Kissed scent. Very nice. Then the hand soaps I picked up, they were on for 6 for $26, and then I got the 20% off. This obviously was my free item, and then I got 20% off the 26. My bill was $22 and some change with the tax. So I got 3 of the Island Margarita and 3 of the Honolulu Sun. I also have a Thrive Market order coming this week, but for some reason it got split up into 2 shipments. Not quite sure why. They even charged my card 2 different times. So all I got in this one was my CBD oil that I take at night, with the lemon balm, chamomile, and vitamin D3 in it. It's a liquid hemp, but I just put it under my tongue before I go to bed. And 1 can of the Wild Planet brand Wild Pink Salmon. Mike loves that on a bed of spinach. And that's it for my Thrive order. Again, until the rest of it comes, the bulk of it is coming in another box, supposedly tomorrow. All right, I'll be back. All right, so before I get any more involved in yapping with y'all, I'm gonna go over a couple grocery hauls for some stores that I was at today. So here's everything that I picked up at Target. I've got a large bottle of Dawn dishwashing soap, some SOS pads, yogurt for Mike for his lunch, a half gallon of the less sugar vanilla almond milk, a probiotic drink, a kombucha drink, and one of the Bolthouse Farms Blue Goodness drinks. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at it and the word isn't coming out. Cashews. Wow, Michelle. Some Purely Elizabeth brand Ancient Grain granola, some lemon bars, and some coconut chocolate protein bars. These are pretty clean for being just a store brand and not having to special order anything. Now they're not organic, unfortunately, but this is all that's in the lemon bars: dates, cashews, almonds, lemon juice concentrate, and lemon oil. So again, pretty clean. And then the protein bar, dates, egg whites, which is where the protein's coming from, plus the nuts, which is almonds and cashews. And then there's chocolate, water, coconut, some natural flavors, sea salt, and coconut oil. So yeah, pretty clean bars. 2 perfect bars and 2 random fake plants. Don't know where I'm going with them yet, but I liked them and they weren't expensive. $5 and $15 for this one, but it is a ceramic pot. This is just plastic. That's it for Target. And this is everything I picked up at Whole Foods. So I got 2 vanilla yogurts. That's the one flavor that Target does not carry, so I buy those at Whole Foods. Some raspberries, a half a pound of Colby Jack cheese, some EVOO from Morocco. This I will not be cooking with. Mike is going to start doing a tablespoon of this a day, just drinking it. And he's researched that the EVOO from Morocco has the most health benefits of anywhere else that it is produced. So he's gonna do, again, a tablespoon of that a day. Some Xanthan Gum. I'm going to be using this to make somewhat of a bit of a gravy for dinner tonight. Some Mary's Gone crackers, no flour crackers. Tonight's dinner is going to be, I'm going to roast a whole chicken, and then I got a couple thigh pieces to add to it. And whatever broth I get from that, I'm going to add a little bit of that Xanthan Gum to thicken it just a hair so we have a bit of a gravy. Mike's bagels. Strawberries, they look scrumptious. Some medley tomatoes. Spring mix. Some beef bone broth. Some plain unflavored kefir. Romaine hearts. Some unsweetened coconut milk. And 2 pounds of frozen cauliflower. I'm going to make 1 bag of this tonight and mash it and add some organic half and half to it and a little bit of butter and some seasonings, and we're going to use this in place of mashed potatoes. It's going to be a cauli mash instead of a potato mash. And that's it for Whole Foods. So, hi again and happy Tuesday. So it is the start of my 3 days off of work that I get every week, and I'm just doing the normal thing. Doing my shopping, got some cleaning to do, so I'll take you with me over the next few days. Plans have changed for tonight. The dinner that I told you I was going to have tonight, the chicken, the cauliflower mash, not happening because we're going out to dinner. If you remember, a few weeks back, I guess it's been now, I met up with one of my subscribers for breakfast. Well, we are getting together for dinner tonight with our men. So looking very forward to that. So we're heading to McCleary's Public House in Marietta for a great meal. So that chicken dinner is getting pushed off till tomorrow. So I will film that tomorrow. But in the meantime, I want to tell you something I've recently discovered, or a human I've recently discovered. So you know I follow Dr. Josh Axe on YouTube and on the web. And he had a young lady on. Her name is, I had to look, Vani Hari. She is a food expert, basically, I guess is what you can call her. She has, I honestly didn't do, I don't know if she's got a background in nutrition or what her actual credentials are. But I know she has taken on the food industry here in the United States. If you're from here, you know that our food industry is just a mess. It's corrupt. It's wrong. It's just wrong. Everything that they say, the government says is safe to eat is not safe to eat. But because it's so corrupt, people just pay each other off to turn their heads and look the other way, or to allow them to lie on the labels of things that you buy in the store. And this woman has started to take on the big giants in the food industry. And she is making some progress, although it's very slow because, again, you're fighting corruption, which a lot of times can be a losing battle. But there are so many food additives that the FDA says is safe, but yet they are banned in every other country in the world. What does that tell you? So anyway, I listened to a podcast. Well, it was Dr. Axe's podcast, and he had her on as a guest. And she sounded fabulous. She is all about clean eating, just super clean. Still enjoying your treats and your you know, she doesn't preach a specific diet plan like no carbs or low fat or anything like that. She's all about eating, but eating pure whole foods, which is kind of how I am. You know, I'm all about just making sure everything that I eat is clean. So I ordered this book off of Amazon. It's her website is called foodbabe.com, I think it is. And she put out this cookbook called Food Babe Kitchen, but it's more than just a cookbook. The recipes are actually in the second half. The first half is just information on food substitutions, ways to eat cleaner, a pantry list to keep in your kitchen, things like that. So I started reading that book this morning. I just got it yesterday and I already started reading it. And then I did print out her pantry list of, what's neat about her pantry list is it's not just items to keep in your pantry, but it's the brands that she has put the research into to let you know what brands are the best. So like if you're looking at can of beans, a can of black beans. You know, she lists that as a staple to have in your pantry because people use them frequently to cook with. But she's gone as far as researching all the different brands, and her favorite brand is Eden brand organic black beans. So I thought that was pretty cool with her list, that it shows you what brands to buy. So I did print it out and I did take it to Whole Foods with me. Now I don't need a lot right now to stock what I have. I'm kind of full back there at the moment. But obviously most of the items that she recommends, you are going to have to order like from Thrive Market, or you can find them at Whole Foods and probably Trader Joe's. She also has developed her own line of protein powder. I'm not sure what else she has. I don't think she has like bars or anything, but I think it's just some plant-based protein powders. Because she even did the research on a lot of our protein powders out there and how they have so many added ingredients that are unnecessary and were formulated in a science lab, which again, I have preached that for 4 years now. If you can't pronounce an ingredient on the food label of a product, then you shouldn't be consuming that product. So I'm really, really liking her. So this morning, I had my visit with my anesthesiologist for my upcoming surgery. It went very well. An hour and 15 minutes later, and that was in the room, an hour and 15 minutes, because I saw 3 people. But my epidural failed for my last surgery. And you know, I've been given my gamut of reasons of why it could have failed, which, you know, they're true. It's not like they're blowing smoke. There are obvious reasons why an epidural can fail. I know my body can accept them because I did have them with both of my children, and thankfully they didn't fail. But this one's a little different because when you're having a child, the epidural is put in the back much lower, where this epidural is up like the mid part of my back, which it is harder to get to. And he was describing all the different reasons why it could have failed and wanted to know if I was willing to try it again. Obviously, it's not meant for during surgery because I'm asleep. I'm not feeling pain anyway. But where the epidural comes in handy is that 24-hour period after surgery. Because that's going to be the worst for the pain. And, you know, I am going to attempt the epidural again. Hopefully it works. And we were talking about different drug options for me because I do have such an issue of pain pills not working. Also how I don't even respond to narcotics. You know, it takes a ton of narcotics for me to feel any kind of relief. And with narcotics, now I don't have this issue, but most people complain that narcotics, once they're used for several days, you can develop constipation. It's a big side effect with an opiate. I've never had that issue with them in the past. With this surgery in particular, because my bowels have been asleep for 6 months and we need to wake them up and wake them up quickly, they are less inclined to put me on narcotics because they don't want to take that chance that, oh, all of a sudden I'm going to, you know, my body's going to be changed now and we can't have me constipated. If I don't have a certain amount of output, I can't leave that hospital. So he was talking injections in my sides, both of my sides, under the breast, on each side, to relax muscles, to help with the pain. He said there are several alternatives that we have, that they can give me. So hopefully, that's my biggest issue is pain management, because I just don't respond to the meds. Just don't. And I can't go home. They won't let me home unless my pain's somewhat under control. And, you know, I'm not a baby. I live with pain every day with these knees, and I take nothing for it. I don't take anything anymore. I haven't taken anything for pain in months. I can live with pain. I'm not a puss. I live with it. But surgical pain is a little hard to handle without some kind of meds. So anyway, that's my plan. I picked up, so that was first thing this morning. Then I left. That was at Hershey Medical Center. And then I went to the airport, picked up my uniforms Hopefully they fit. I don't know if I told you, but my work uniforms, when they came in 5 sizes too big. I swear they got my order mixed up with someone else. These pants were like, they were literally 5 sizes too big. The belt was too big. It was everything. The coat, the coat was like 2 sizes too big. It's like, who I gave them my measurements. So they reordered them. So I'm going to go out here and check out these boxes and see if they fit this time. So I went there, then I went back to Lancaster and did my Whole Foods and my Target run, stopped at Bath and Body Works. Now I'm back home. So getting ready to go to dinner. And yeah, so it's happening. I have not eaten well today at all. I just haven't eaten. Like, because I've been on the go, I'm behind on my water. So I'm trying to chug my 2nd quart of water now to make sure I get my 3 quarts in for the whole day. I had a Quest bar for breakfast and had nothing else, and it was nowhere to refill my water. And then when I got home, I'm famished, and I ate a small cup of Good Culture brand cottage cheese, which, if you haven't discovered that brand, my Target carries it. Again, the brand is called Good Culture. It's a very clean cottage cheese, and oh, it's probably the best I have ever tasted. And right now, Target has a 50% off with the Target Circle app. So I'm gonna quit yapping and hang tight because I ain't going anywhere. Good morning. So happy Wednesday. It's early. It's still dark. Can you see? So I'm just sitting here enjoying my tea, covered with a blanket, enjoying the stillness and the peace and quiet of the morning. Not a lot of traffic out back yet, but the birdies are awake and they're out there doing their chirping and singing this morning. And I don't know why. I kind of know why. Yeah, I do know why. Sorry, I'm trying to get my legs situated here. I didn't sleep well last night. I went to bed around 10:30, and I woke up at 2:30 something when Mike was getting ready for work. And I had been up at 12:30 to pee, because I did drink a bunch of water last night before I went to bed, because I needed to get my 3 quarts in, and I won't go to bed without doing that. And normally I have my 3 quarts finished by dinner time, but yesterday and all my running, I didn't get to refill my water. And then going out to eat last night, I wasn't home to chug a bunch of water. I did include what I had at the restaurant last night in my ounce count, roughly. But anyway, I didn't sleep well. And I've been sleeping very well lately. I've been doing great. So I'm sitting here this morning, and I, started my reading already. I'm reading still on this book, The Power of Right Believing by Joseph Prince. And I read something this morning that kind of made me think. And I guess the only thing I can think of right now that I'm not sleeping very well is I went to bed last night with some anxiety. And I'm not going to go into why, who, what, where, when, why, how. You don't need to know all that. But I was a bit fearful and anxious and a little bit sad about some things. And I went to bed like that. Didn't sleep well, woke up this morning, and those thoughts are right back in my head again. And I realized that I need to ask myself why. Why am I allowing things that are out of my control to cause those emotions to bubble up in me when I know better? I know better. I'm on my own personal journey right now to control this. But every once in a while, I guess everybody's going to have moments where it's just, they're going to allow things to creep in the mind to kind of sabotage the plan. And that's kind of where I'm at. And
when you're doing one of these plans, at first you're on such a high because every day it's like you have this list, and the list isn't overwhelming, but the list is, I got to get it done. I got to get it done. And you're going 100 miles an hour to do everything, especially if you do work outside the home. And then, I have, normally on my days off, I'm usually pretty booked with appointments and things I got to get done. So, and yesterday was one of those days, I had an appointment, then we had a dinner engagement, and I had errands I wanted to run in between since I was already going to be out. And then last night I'm dealing with these other issues, and today I wake up and I'm still dealing with them, and I'm thinking to myself, Michelle, you got to sit and you got to, come back to center, come back and focus. First of all, things that would have happened to make you feel sad and anxious and fearful, let them go. Focus on, is it anything I can fix? If not, it's got to go. And then, number 2, enjoy the stillness. Sit and enjoy the stillness of the morning. I've always loved this time of morning, especially when the kids were little. I didn't take advantage of it enough. I will admit, I should have taken advantage of it a lot more. But that peaceful, still, quiet time in the morning before the rest of the world wakes up can be very magical. It really can. It gives you a chance to go inward and do some introspection. If you are practicing any kind of a faith in any religion, it gives you that chance to do what you do in your religion, whether it be praying or meditating or whatever it is you do to focus on your practicing of your faith. Can you tell I'm trying to be politically correct here? And I struggle for words. And it gives you a chance just to kind of do a restart. Do a restart. I'm faced with a day with no plans. It's Wednesday. It's middle of the week. It's middle of my weekend. And because of my discipline plan that I do every day, with cleaning something every day, it's like I don't have a whole place to clean on my day off. I have a free day with no plans and nothing that I have to do. And when I'm used to going 100 miles an hour, now I got this day and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do with it? Do I just sit and recharge today? Do I find something new to do? I don't know. So that's where I'm at this morning. So I think this is going to be one of those days where I'm going to focus on self-care. And I've talked about that before, but it's probably been a few years. Or no, maybe it was just recent. I don't remember. The joys of getting older. I lose track of time. But the importance of self-care. Self-explanatory, taking care of yourself. Taking time out to do things that you enjoy doing, that bring you joy, that bring you peace. Peace to your body, peace to your soul, peace to your mind. It can be very simple. For me, something that I consider self-care is my morning time. My morning time with a blanket and a cup of tea and a book. Or, once I'm done my reading and I decide to turn off these giant bright lights behind me, which are not flattering for this face this early in the morning, I apologize. I'm going to turn off the lights and turn YouTube on and watch some encouraging YouTube channels. My self-care is also taking care of my physical body, in that I, take the time to do my proper skincare every morning, and get myself, cleaned up and ready to go. Are there days in the past where I have spent the entire day in my pajamas? Absolutely, especially during the pandemic. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. By all means, stay comfortable all day. But at least, wash your face and brush your teeth. And I don't miss doing that. I always make sure that is done. And I am going to get out of my pajamas today because Mike wants me to go along tonight to help him wash his car. So I'm going to have to put some clothes on. But I think another form of self-care to me is, I love looking back on photos and or videos of my adventures with my family. And I may choose to do that today. Maybe watch some videos that I've made of just pictures, where I've put my family photos on a disc and I run them through DVD player on the television. Or I may watch some home movies, or even some of my old YouTube videos where I've traveled in them. So I think today, especially the first half of the day, is going to be a day of self-care. I just need to calm my mind. I need to live by some of my own rules that I've set for myself in the past, and keep my head out of the news and what's going on in the world, and just, lock myself in and just take care of me. And I encourage you to do that if you can, if time permits, if your situation permits. I think we all need that. You can't be 100% there for everyone else all the time. You have to give yourself a little time as well. And when you want to be there 100% for someone else in your life, again, you can't be if you're not completely full first. You got to fill yourself up first before you can be of service to others. I've said that multiple times, and I know I'm not the only one to say that. That is preached in the world everywhere. And most of the time it's using the analogy of being in an airplane when the oxygen masks drop down. Everyone uses that analogy. But it's true. The flight attendant goes over that with you. When the oxygen mask drops down, put yours on first before you help your neighbor. That's just how life works. You got to take care of yourself first before you can be of any service to anyone else. And I think that's where I'm at right now. Even though I do take care of myself and I'm on my self-discipline plan and everything is working and I'm usually going 100 miles an hour, every once in a while my mind will it focuses on the wrong things. And when I allow that to happen, it creates a restless night for me. And that's my sign that I need to recharge it a little bit and just take care of me and shut out the world. So shutting off social media, shutting off the phone, just taking time for me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll film here and there what I'm doing, just so you can see what I do to have one of those days where I'm just recharging. So I'm still at that point where I'm enjoying this with my blanket and my book.
Well, all in all, it's been a very relaxing, all about me and what I want to do day, which is what I needed today. So I've just been, again, doing stuff for me, all about me, although I have been doing some normal housewife things, 2 loads of laundry, actually 3 because my sheets are in now. I'm getting ready to start my 3rd water. So even though it's all about me and taking care of myself today, it's still, I still have my plan that I stick to. But I'm relaxing and I'm not busting my butt to do anything, and I'm not going 100 miles an hour right now, which is what I needed. In the meantime, I got my final Thrive order delivered for this month, so I'll show you what I got. I just opened the box, but I haven't pulled anything out yet. So I did get, and you had to buy these in twos. Hopefully they're not squished. My last chips I got in the box weren't squished, so these should be good too. These are lentil chips made out of lentils. And the flavor on these are a dill and sour cream. So looking forward to trying those. And I'm trying another brand of pasta. This is the Jovial brand. This is, again, grain-free, gluten-free, nut-free, legume-free, no gums, and it's paleo-friendly, which doesn't matter to me. This is made out of cassava flour. That's it. So cassava flour and water. And this is in just the fusilli or rotini shape. See, I didn't forget what I ordered because it takes them so long to ship stuff. I'm going to try some almond flour. So I bought a bag of that superfine almond flour to bake with. They even have a recipe for gluten-free blueberry muffins on the back. So yeah, giving that a whirl. Bear with me, you know how they package everything and all this. I love it. I love their packaging. Nothing gets broken because some of this is glass. But it takes me a little bit to open everything. This is what I got to replace soy sauce. This is a coconut amino sauce. I got a can of the Safe Catch Ahi Yellowfin Tuna. 2 more cans of the Wild Pink Salmon. And I'm pretty sure these next 2 are going to be 2 different dressings I ordered. Yes. All right. Wow. Goodness gracious. Should not be this difficult. So this is Primal Kitchen. You've seen me buy this brand before. So I bought a cilantro lime dressing and marinade. And if I remember correctly, this one should be the Primal Kitchen honey mustard, which Mike loves, a honey mustard dressing. Plus I can cook chicken with that too, as long as the mustard flavor isn't too overpowering, because y'all know my hatred of mustard. Yes, that's what this is. So again, Primal Kitchen brand, and it's a honey mustard vinaigrette, so it's not thick like a typical honey mustard. That's that. And then another thing of the CBD with sleep. This is an auto ship every 30 days. So, and I had gotten that one a few days ago. That's probably still in this video. Just so I'd always have a backup. Because again, sometimes Thrive's shipping, they use FedEx. Not impressed with FedEx. It takes forever. So that's it for my Thrive order.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. So another day with no plans. I love it. 2 days in a row with no plans. Wow. This doesn't happen to me very often, but I'm going to enjoy it. So my breakfast this morning, I've taken one bite and oh my goodness, is it scrumptious. So lots of whole good foods in here. So this is oatmeal, obviously. So oats cooked with coconut milk. And then I added my vanilla protein powder, some unsweetened dried cranberries, some pumpkin seed and flax granola, some whole walnuts that I broke up in pieces, a good tablespoon or more, probably more, close to 2 tablespoons of almond butter, lots of cinnamon, and some flax seed. Is that all I put in there? Probably should have filmed me making it. Yeah, I think that was all I had in there. And and just a tiny little squirt of agave, of organic blue agave nectar.
Oh my goodness, is this ever scrumptious? Hey, it's me. And yes, it's still Thursday. So, as I said in the previous clip, this is my second day in a row off of work with no real plans and nothing I have to do. And what I want to talk to you about before I close out this video is the importance of self-care, or what I call self-love. Taking time every once in a while to focus on you and doing things that you love, but yet that are also good for you. So even though the last 2 days I haven't had anything I had to do, know where I had to be, no appointments, no gathers with friends. I did my errand running all in one day on Tuesday. I didn't take the last 2 days and just be completely lazy and veg out in front of the television. To me, that's not self-care and self-love. That's just, like I said, laziness. I was still productive. I still did everything on my daily plan for self-discipline. However, other than that, I did things that I consider self-care. 4 years ago, when I did my first self-improvement journey, one of my assignments that I had to do, according to the book I read, was a self-love menu. And I hung on to that. I have this little book, this little journal. It's wooden. I got it in Jamaica, my very first trip to Jamaica back in, oh my gosh, 2003 maybe, I think was the first time I was there. Anyway, it's just blank pages on the inside. And I, have used it over the years for the purpose of self-improvement. So 4 years ago, I created a self-love menu. Things that I could do on, some of them, a daily basis to take care of me and focus on me for a short period. Like I've said before, you're no good and of no use to anyone if you don't take care of yourself a little bit. Again, taking care of yourself doesn't mean being a TV vegetable. That's not taking care of yourself. So I'm going to read you, I have 2 lists, one from 2017 and then one I did this year. And I didn't look at the previous list before doing the one this year, 4 years later. A lot of my stuff has not changed. Some of it has, and you will see why. So this was my list from 2017. I wrote 11 things that I could do every day. Pick one, not all 11 things every single day, but I could pick one thing out every day to do off of this list that fills me up inside and makes me happy. That's the purpose of self-care and self-love, doing things to fill you up and bring you joy. First one, sitting on a beach. Now, I can't do that every day where I live. I wish I could, but I can't. But talk about bringing me the ultimate joy. My big behind sitting on a beach is at the top of that list. Laying in bed and talking to my husband. I love Saturday and Sunday mornings when he doesn't have to get up for work. And we can just wake up casually, no alarms, and just lay there and just talk. Mike and I are talkers with each other. He's not a talker with other people. He's very much an introvert. But with me, he can sit and talk. Cooking a healthy menu. Self-explanatory. Drinking tea and reading. Yep, I do that every day. Looking at old photos or videos. Love it. And that is what I did a lot of yesterday and what I'm primarily going to do quite a bit of today. It's great for, if you're looking at your own videos and or photos, it's great to remind you how blessed you really are that you sometimes forget. And if you're looking at other videos, YouTube, what we're doing right now, when you're looking at other people's videos, it's a great way to, depending on who you're watching, a great way to gain some insight and knowledge, or a great way, again, to realize how blessed you actually are compared to the person that you are watching. It can go multiple ways on YouTube because there's so much out there. Sitting in the sun. That's my thing. Hanging with family and friends. Travel and learning when I'm traveling. I love foreign cultures. I love traveling overseas. Can't do a whole lot of that right now, but that is something that brings me a lot of self-love. Snuggling with my dog. Again, this list is from 4 years ago. I miss my boy. Oh, I miss having a little furry. Catching up with old friends, which thankfully Facebook, that's one of the positive things that I've been able back then and even still catch up with friends that I haven't talked to in a long time. And road trips. Always loved a good road trip. Again, not doing a whole lot of that right now. So that was my list from 2017. So when I reread my book, Mastering Your Mean Girl by Melissa Ambrosini, and I redid everything for this year, this was my self-love menu for this year. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only had 10 things instead of 11. Obviously, Snuggling with my dog was probably not on the list, but I'm going to read my list from this year. Now, this was several months ago. I don't even remember when I did this. What month are we in now? This was after I came home from the hospital, so I want to say probably January. Reading with a cup of tea, stayed on my list. Sitting on the beach, still on my list. Watching a sunrise or sunset, and I really was awakened to the awesomeness of that when I lived in Florida. Up here in the north, on the East Coast, when we would go to the beach, we had the sunrise that we could watch in the morning. A sunrise is great, the start of the day. But a sunset, wow. The colors, depending on what the weather was during the day. There is just something absolutely breathtaking about an awesome sunset. And to me, we did that quite a bit in Florida. We would just hop in the car about an hour before sunset, drive to a beach that faced west, and just sit there in awe and watch the sun set. Just awesome self-care item. Hanging with friends and family, still on the list. Time with Mike, still on the list. Traveling and exploring, still on the list. I had traveling and learning 2017, exploring on this one. Watching motivating YouTube. That was not on the first list. It is on the list now. I love some inspiring YouTubers. Sitting in the sun. Still on the list. A good healthy meal. Similar, I think I had cooking a healthy menu on 17 and a good healthy meal on 21. And browsing good grocery stores. That was a new one. I'm a grocery store junkie, man. You give me a good grocery store, like not a crappy one, not a dirty one, not a Walmart. But you give me a locally owned, unique grocery store. It doesn't have to be locally owned because you know I love me some Wegmans too, and Whole Foods. But taking the time to browse and read ingredient labels, to me, that is self-care, self-love. So that's where I'm gonna end this video. I know I said I was going to have my chicken dinner in here, but I'm going to put that in a different video. My next video coming out that I'm already kind of in the middle of is meal ideas with healthy ingredient substitutions in them. So look for that one next. But I'm going to end this one here in just reminding you of how important self-love and self-care is to re-energize you, remind you of your blessings, remind you of how awesome you are and how you need to take care of you because you're worth it. Remember I told you that before, y'all are worth it. So I will see you soon. Have a great couple days till I see you again. Bye.